But first, he's the MP for Whanganui, Chester Burrows, has been found not guilty of a charge of careless driving causing injury. The National Party MP has been on trial in the Whanganui District Court over an incident at an anti-TPP protest last year in which 2 women were injured. Our Taranaki Whanganui reporter Robin Martin has been in court. Hi Robin, thank you for joining us. Chester Burrows not guilty. What happened in court?
Hi John. It started off, it was quite an exciting start to the day today because Mr Burrows' lawyer had applied last night to have the case thrown out essentially, and we all trekked in there this morning at 11 o'clock, and Judge Stephanie Edwards gave her findings on that, and she refused the application for the case to be dismissed. And then it was immediately signalled that Mr Burrows and a little bit later on his passenger on the morning of the incident, Paula Bennett, would be giving evidence. And Mr Burrows stepped up into the witness box straight away. He was given a pretty torrid time in cross-examination by the Crown Prosecutor Ben Vander Kolk, who basically accused him of over-egging his the level of threat that these protesters presented to the politicians on that day. But as you can hear in this track that I think you've got, Burrows stuck to his guns that there was a threat and it was very real.
And if I can just complete the proposition,
okay.
Precisely what you did at the protection of your perception of the need to protect Minister Bennett by driving into protesters. That's my point.
Okay. Yes, I certainly do accept that I believed I needed to protect Minister Bennett. I certainly perceived that there was a threat there, and that was playing on my mind, along with obviously what I'd seen on Facebook that morning and the behaviour of the people, particularly the woman known as Donna and Philip Rewity, and that was certainly on my mind as I was driving in that situation, and obviously I'm defending the charge. I believe I was reasonable.
Chester Burrows speaking in court. Robin, then you heard from the Deputy Prime Minister herself?
Yes, Paula Bennett breezed into court in that usual manner of hers, very confident, and she told the judge that she genuinely felt concerned about this protest that she described as quite loud and, although small in number, a little bit aggressive, and she was particularly worried about the social media post that you guys have and the listeners have heard about yesterday. The social media post which featured a sex toy and some quite direct threats at her, and you'll hear that she said she was quite worried about that.
I was definitely apprehensive. I was expecting something to happen as we got close to the protesters, and the respect. I think I was probably most expecting that they would throw the sex toy at the car, and that I didn't really want a photo or to be in the news with this thing either hitting me or hitting the window right next to me.
So what did Minister Bennett say about Chester Burrows' driving?
Paula Bennett said, in that kind of situation, you couldn't think of a better person to be driving the car. An ex-cop who's had bravery awards and the whole deal, and she thought that he dealt with the situation in a perfectly reasonable manner.
I mean, I felt like we'd more or less stopped, is how it felt to me. So I felt like the car, if it was moving, it was literally inching, and at that point I would have thought that we were stopped. I was waiting for the police to clear the protesters out of the way. I was kind of surprised that they had gone in front of the car because we were slowly approaching it, and so they'd walked out, in front of a moving vehicle.
What did Judge Stephanie Edwards have to say when she gave her decision, Robin?
Well, in her decision, she said this for a start, this did not hang on whether these women were hit by the car. That wasn't in contention. It was just whether Mr. Burrows had driven carelessly. That's a strange word to say out loud. Anyhow, she said that he was prepared to stop if police asked him to. He was aware of the people in front of him, and he would have stopped if he thought people were genuinely in danger. because of those things, it was her decision that the Crown prosecutor had not proven his case beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Borrows had driven in a careless manner.
Robin Martin, who was in the court today, thank you so much.